Hello guys, and welcome to my second video. This one will feature scientific games as opposed to the last one, which was historic. So I made a few quirks here and there to make it a little bit better than last time, hopefully. So without further ado, and that's the intro. Good enough.
Without further ado, your hand wasn't even on it.
So the first game is Kerbal Space Program. Now, Kerbal Space Program, it's a simulator that revolves around creating rockets intended to go into space and eventually the moon, or as they pronounce it, the mun. You play as a little race of creatures called Kerbals, which are an alternate reality of humans. Everything's really the same, except they're kind of clumsy and adorable, and you shoot them off into space, so yeah. The game involves realistic variables in difficulty and producing a functioning and operational rocket, fit for living in and riding in. It also has to return to Earth safely. And for those really into the game, you can even manage to get to Pluto within the game, or Mars, or whatever they call it. They're all like little variations of our names. It's cute. But it is ridiculously hard and ridiculously time consuming. It's realistic, is the whole point. Like, even NASA is recruiting people from Kerbal Space Program to make, I forgot what. I think it was something about asteroids. But no, it's pretty down and pat when it comes to the realistic variables that you have to take into account. So you need to have fueling stations, so little rockets already in orbit around different planets with fuel, so your rocket can keep going and then even come back. So that's like 5 planets you need fuel to get past, and then fuel for coming back. You have to make sure that you don't overshoot or undershoot the planet. You need to make sure that everything is operational, nothing's gonna burn, nothing's going to... just a lot of variables. Aside from that, the scientific portion of it, it is an incredibly fun game. You can do anything. And the best part is, like, it's not a hard game. Like, you can easily build a quick rocket and launch it off to see how it is. You can play it just for the fun of it. You don't even have to like science. And you can play this game and love it, because everyone loves simulators. Like, what happens if this crashes at this angle or whatever, it's like that. So, for those of you who don't have a computer or, like, can't afford the game, even just watching people play it. Streamers stream it all the time. I've watched a few streams of people playing Kerbal. They usually don't know what the hell they're doing, but they make do with what they have, and they make it fun and enjoyable. So even if you can't afford something, be entertained. Next game up is Sandbox. I've never actually played this game, but I do know that Colin, he played it a lot, like a lot. He said it was really good. All I know is that it's a sandbox, which, I guess I actually have to explain it. So Sandbox, it means a game where you control everything. You control the environment, you control the objects, whatever. Like a sandbox, you build stuff, you break stuff, you put stuff to the test, you do whatever. You screw around, pretty much. So I guess for Sandbox, you have your own little box, your little sandbox. You can put suns in it, you can put planets in it, asteroids, meteor belts, put whatever. You make your own little universe, and you see how it interacts and how it does this and does that. You have a sun that's this big. Let's see how the planet will orbit around it. Let's see how a planet going this speed will orbit around it, or this angle, or this many planets, or this many asteroids. It's whatever. Honestly, they probably have a preset where it's our universe, and the other one that's coming towards it's Orion's belt. I don't know. They probably have something just like that to show the process of what's going to happen, because it's a game where you do anything, and it's just interesting. I love space. I would love to play this game. I'll probably go to Collins and play it actually like in a week. I don't care. I want to try it now. But if you like astrophysics, or you like astronomy, or you're just curious, it's one of those games, like I said, where you don't have to know a lot about science. You just go in, you participate, you become interactive with it, and you enjoy it. It's a game. That's the whole point, to have fun with it. And that's what I do. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'll keep doing. So the next game, which I had a phase with this game, not from like when I was 10, from like last year. So this game is Spore. Some of you may have heard of it, most of you probably haven't. Spore, it's actually a really unique idea for a game. I know me and Lucas, we both went on like a spree of just flat out Spore, and it was incredibly fun. Now, okay, Spore, it is a game where you play as a creature. Okay, the game starts out, a meteor comes for the Earth. Well, not our Earth. A meteor hits the planet, it sinks into the oceans, and then life is born from that meteor, kind of like the whole theory behind how we were brought up to be. But you play as this little cell emerged from the meteor, and this begins your journey as your creature, your race, your whatever you want it to be. You can become a herbivore, a carnivore, an omnivore. You can kill other creatures, you can live pacifistically, you can do whatever. It's a game where you start as a cell. There are other cells. You evolve. It's farther in the future. You and like 50 other creatures, you all grow legs and all that, and you go onto the surface. You become land dwellers, mammals. Then you interact with other creatures. You can be social with them. You can make allies. You can make friends. You can coincide, or you can be ruthless and just annihilate them. Then later on in the game, you become tribes. You will get food, you will harvest, you will make tools, you will make houses, you will deal with other tribes. And then after that, you become a city, you have nations, there's countries. And then you have to deal with other countries, same deal. And then finally, you become space travelers. And you get to bring life to other planets. You can put trees, you can put animals, you can emigrate them to new worlds. And when you make a creature, it's like playing with clay. You can make it tall, you can make it small, you can make it wide, you can make it anything. You can make it have only arms, only legs, you can make it have no arms and no legs. You can make it have 20 eyes. You can do whatever you want. But no, that is Spore. That is the idea of Spore. It's a game about growth, about evolution. And it's a good game about evolution. Like, it helped me understand that. It helped simplify it. So the last game on the list currently is Plague Incorporated. Now Plague Inc., it's a pretty simplistic game. The concept of it is simple. You start a disease or a virus or a bacteria or whatever, and you try to wipe out the world. Now it's interesting. You play as a little sickness. You start out in whatever country you want. You start small, a little cough, a little sniff there. It'll start to slowly spread, like any sickness does. But the difference about this disease is you evolve it. You change its symptoms, you change what it causes, all this. So you start with a small disease, it gives you like a runny nose and a cough. You make it so that it can be spread like in the air. You make it so it can be spread overseas. You make it so it spreads through animals, so farmlands are more susceptible. You make it so that it spreads more in rodents, so high density cities. You evolve the way it spreads, but then you also evolve the way it interacts with people. You make it so they have sores, you make it so it has whatever, it eventually can kill them. But the more you alter it, the more the world will start to know, like, hey, this thing's probably bad. When you start to make it kill people, the world will start to close off its borders. They'll start to search for a cure to it. When it becomes a threat, that's when you have to race against the time. You have only so much time until the world starts to develop a cure. So it's a game where you need to make it survivable, you need to make it contagious, but you need to make it unknown. I don't know what to say anymore, but no, if you haven't tried these games or you're interested in them, just look them up. They're on Steam. They probably have their own sites. I know Spore definitely does because it's EA. Or even just search it up on YouTube or look for live streams on Twitch. Twitch has it a lot. So yeah, just look for videos, highlights, whatever of them if you're interested. If you want to buy them, go on Steam. They'll probably have a discount pretty soon on Christmas. You'll get them for like 75% off, or you can just like see if they have demos. Give it a shot. See if you'll be interested. That is the beauty of the whole idea of games, is that you can see if you're interested, you can get it, you can try it, you can play it whenever. You don't have to feel obligated to play it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was better than the last one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know where I can improve, and have a good day. That's it. We're done.